And Pat, we are live. Go ahead and ping the community as well that we're live, please.
Will do.
Hey, folks, welcome to How to Type. I would like to give a shout out to the gentleman that rescheduled his coaching session with me this evening in favor of allowing us to do the How to Type stream. I just want to say thank you, sir, for doing that for us. We really appreciate it. I apologize in advance for being double booked, but being an ENTP with having to manage so many different schedules between my children and their schedule, my CSJ schedule, my day job schedule, on top of having a very loving girlfriend who I adore so much, and everything that she does for me. It is difficult, being that I am a P-type and not a J-type, at actually managing schedules properly. So I am learning as it goes. And honestly, I'm just tired of disappointing people. So thank you, sir, for giving us the opportunity to do this stream. We really appreciate it. So that's been pretty fantastic. Mr. Mello, are you able to pipe sound directly in that way that we had talked about earlier, or?
I can give it a go. I need to set it up.
Okay, and we do it through Discord, or?
That's the way Nova and I.
Yeah, that's fine.
Set it up.
Yeah, we could do that. So just do like a private call on Discord, then I mute myself on it, I think, or. So, also,
Maybe so.
Just so you guys know, we are only doing 1 hour tonight of this one because I have a hard deadline in exactly 1 hour from now. I will have to get off the stream because I am cooking dinner for my children and for Railgun tonight, and hopefully we can go catch a movie at the movie theater. So I have responsibilities because we're also celebrating my daughter's birthday, because I will not be at her actual birthday, which is next week, and she's turning 5. So thank you all for the super chats and whatnot. And Mr. Mello here will be keeping track of said super chats for us as well. And yes, Aiden strikes again. So thank you for that, Mr. Aiden. That's pretty awesome.
Okay. Might need to do a little test here. Okay. Do you want to call on Discord?
So Caitlin's like, who is this Railgun? This Railgun is my girlfriend, who I love dearly. Absolutely fantastic woman, and very wise one at that, contrary to popular belief. Let's see if we get this sound going here. Pretty well here. Let's see here. Okay. Cool. Okay, so let's go. And Aiden gave us the the actual link to use. Awesome. Let's start off with Aiden's request first, Mello. So I'm going to give you that link here. There you go. We're going to start with that video, and let's do the call inside. Let's see here. 1 second, and let's see. Starting voice call, and I'm going to mute myself in the Discord. Okay, so I muted myself.
Okay. Let me know if you can hear this.
Okay.
Anything?
Nope. No sound.
Okay.
I guess we'll just have to do it the traditional way until we get it figured out the next time, unless Nova's watching and she's probably insta-triggered about this, but... So, want to try it again? Oh, I can hear myself.
Can you? Okay.
So I guess just mute me then, I guess.
Can you still hear yourself?
I cannot hear myself because you muted yourself on Discord. I need to be able to hear you on Discord, and you need to mute me on your end.
Okay, so I need to deafen you.
Yep, deafen me. Thank you.
I'm not sure. Okay, can you still hear yourself? Not sure how this would.
I think so.
Need to work.
Yeah, I can. All right, fair enough. Let's just do the traditional way. And I'll just tell you the video where I am in the video.
Okay.
Cool. All right, we'll prop that out and then bring this back, and then we'll bring that down, and then we'll bring this here, going to YouTube there. YouTube is here. Pop that there. All right, and going to use the specific video here. Got that there.
Hi, my name is Luke.
All right, got a cannabis video. Awesome. That's a great start for how to type, but awesome. All right, so here we go.
Who exactly are we typing here?
We are typing, let's see here. What's the name? Check the super chat channel.
Okay.
Pamela
So that
Anderson.
would be Axl Burnaby.
Axl Burnaby. Awesome. All right.
Is he the gentleman speaking?
I think so. I think so. We'll see. Axl Burnaby. Well, let's play and find out. Cannabis on the horizon, cannabis legalization in New York City.
Tram, I'm the committee chair of the Special Committee on the Drugs and Law of the New York City Bar Association. I want to welcome everybody tonight, and thank you all for coming. New York State.
He's the man on the left sitting.
Oh, the man on the left sitting? Okay. So, and Aiden told us the specific time to go for. At 1 hour, 1 minute, and 40 seconds to 1:19. Got it. Okay.
1 hour, 40 seconds?
Yeah.
He said.
He said 101.
101.
101:40. Yep. Where I'm at 101:20 right now. So let's get this going. Fire it up.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Yep. Play. I'm at 101:30, 101:31, 101:32, 101:33.
Synced.
Okay. And now he starts talking.
Sure. Happy to do that. First, though, I do want to thank you guys for setting this up, and you yourself.
I want to thank it up. Okay, it's obviously direct.
The key to this whole process is having as much public discussion as possible.
Public discussion. Talk about process.
There are a lot of competing priorities and trade-offs that are going to need to be made.
Systematic.
Identified here tonight.
Control.
So, not everybody has the same position on them, and the more you talk about them, the more you educate, I think the better the chances are that this gets done. But so from the administration's position, the interest in seriously looking at the legalization of cannabis started in January when the governor requested that the Department of Health shepherd over
He's talking about the governor.
Yep. That was going to report back on.
You think he's an ENTJ like you?
Impact,
Sounds like it.
Potentially.
Health impact, economic impact, and social justice impact of legalization. That report was rendered to the governor in July.
That report was rendered to the governor. It's a TEFI statement and SE statement.
In the weighing overall, and that there were a lot of competing values in there, but overall found that legalization was
Competing values.
a better outcome. And so we examined that report and endorsed it in August, and at that point,
Better outcomes, outcome focused.
Very outcome focused and systematic still.
Members of which are public and predominantly public health focused. So there is a
Public health focused,
concern that
TEFI.
when we do this, we do it with a public health focus. So in terms of the competing, I might
We do it with this
disagree a little bit
focus, it's an SE
on
statement.
tax rates to the extent that
Still
it will drive
direct.
serious problems in consumption, such as $3 a gram rates in Oregon or Washington.
Very outcome focused, talking about the money.
Is that something that we're comfortable doing? What does that?
Is this something we are comfortable doing? That's SE. Like, if it's something we're comfortable doing, it's expert at sensing. So he's definitely SFP NTJ Quadra for sure, is where he is, definitely. And he seems very control-based, obviously, as we can tell. So if you're SFP, NTJ, Quadra, which of those are control-based? Well, it's ISFP or ENTJ. And we know he's not informative. We know he's direct. So by process elimination, this guy, he's an ENTJ. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you have it. Awesome. What's next on the list? I know that we have some paid opportunities here, so let's get through the super chats.
Yeah. So... Well, so Aiden Washness came in with more Spiegel, but then the next with $1 less was TE time with Reese Roper.
Well, highest super chat gets priority.
So we would go with Aiden Washington.
All right, so it's Morris Beagle.
Yep.
Morris,
also sent in Discord.
Yeah, remember, folks, for the format we're doing here, highest. It's not like a true auctioning system where you get your money back. If you lose the bid, it's whatever the highest current level super chat is. That's the one that gets priority that we're typing tonight. And just remember, we're trying to keep this particular How to Type stream to like 1 hour. And that started at 6, so we're 10.5 minutes in. So as you get closer to an hour, we're going to be like, stop giving us super chats. But if your super chats are there even after the hour, sorry, that's it. So please be careful giving super chats for the end of the show. And then also... we'll try our best to mark those and keep track of those. Like, Matt will keep some notes about which super chats we're missing, so we can open up the next show with those, hopefully. But there's no guarantees, so just giving you guys an idea as to how that works. But yeah, we'll get down to more Spiegel. And hey, Mr. Aiden, do you have a video on more Spiegel, or do I got to go on a search?
I believe he said he sent one over Discord.
Stand by. I'll stand by. 1 second. Check. Morris Beagle. Awesome. Thank you, sir. I got it right here. Okay. Aiden's got a system. Finally.
Listen up.
Oh, no.
That.
You probably haven't even
I don't
questioned what bar soap you lather.
I don't want to talk about lathering myself.
Hello everyone, it's CJ with Rogue 420.
Okay, so we got that here. We got this here. Go back there, and then we're going to go here. All right, Morris Beagle, folks. We got Morris Beagle, so let's check this out.
You send me the link?
Very excited.
Yeah. I'll send you the link. Stand by. And copy the link. And Mr. Mello. And there you go. And I'm at currently... I'm going to skip in at exactly 2 minutes. All right?
All right, I'm there.
All right, let's fire it up in 3, 2, 1, go.
Industry in Atlanta for 4 years. I moved to California for 5 years and then moved back to Colorado in 1995.
I moved back here, moved back there.
A record company called Happy Scratch Records.
Record company.
Kind of an umbrella.
SINE, talk about his past
DVD,
constantly.
Manufacturing, packaging. I did events, licensing, merchandise, physical products.
Take that with a grain of salt.
And at that time I moved back, there was a store called The Emperor's New Clothes.
Seems TEFI a little bit, little reference points.
There was a book.
Seems very
Jack
movement
Hare,
as well.
and the name of the store was
Formative initiating
Emperor
movement is what I'm
Wears
guessing
No
at
Clothes.
first.
And the book by Jack Hare is The Emperor Wears
The
No
book
Clothes.
by Jack Hare using
And
reference
that's
point
where
TE.
I read that book back kind of in that 95, 96, 97 time frame and became familiar with what hemp was, and it was really, it's cannabis. It's all cannabis. So you got hemp, you got marijuana, but it's all cannabis.
It's all cannabis.
And kind of the history of how things transpired from, we've been using it for 10,000 years, since back in early Chinese days. And that's how the first paper was made, and we made rope and sails and used it in food and building materials and learned a whole bunch of history that I had no idea about. And then how it got targeted and kind of rolled into the whole Marijuana Tax Act back in the 30s, and then the stuff that happened with the Controlled Substances Act.
I almost can argue TIFE, because I'm hearing a lot of TI facts. What do you think?
Misinformation and propaganda.
I've been writing these down.
Come out over the course of the last 75, 80 years. I think all that is out there now, but that's really how I got familiar with it, was back in the mid-90s, and I really didn't do a whole lot
how I got familiar
advocacy or participating in the hemp industry or the cannabis industry.
Gail, which super chat are you talking about? Put their name in chat, please.
Amendment 64 passed here in Colorado, and during the time that was making its way through Colorado from the early part of 2012, and the movement
just
was
keeps going. It just keeps going. Like, this is like any hero SI inferior movement. You know what I'm saying?
Hemp.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was
might be an
I could start a
ENTP.
hemp merchandise company, and started Colorado Hemp Company. About Colorado.
Very
Hemp Company
systematic.
back in
Started this, followed this process, system here, system there.
And started making some hemp t-shirts
I could.
and hats, and partnering with some other merchandise companies like Wicked Hemp Footwear, Hempies, Hemp Mania.
That was TE.
Both companies that had hats and wallets and bags, and really started getting into who was making hemp products at the time, and wanting to make my own hemp products, and partner with Colorado companies and national companies that were jumping on board to legalize hemp across the country. And And 5-6 years later, we're doing a lot of
initiating.
events,
He's initiated like 5 or 6 different points constantly.
We're doing advocacy. We're
Keeps
promoting
going.
education and
Doing
information,
this, doing that,
and trying to legalize it on a domestic level without obstruction and restrictions and overregulation. And then
without obstruction, restrictions, that's pragmatic.
You know, cannabis, hemp,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whether that's high THC, low THC, psychoactive, non-psychoactive, I truly believe that there's no reason that this thing should ever be criminalized, that people should go to jail for it. And
that's an FE statement talking about the lack of criminalization.
Oh, I completely agree. And here's the thing, you know, as far as your work, I mean, you're involved with so many companies and organizations, so congratulations, you know, for that. And I think that whole advocacy thing, as far as
Dead Mouse is actually an ISTP,
right
Dolph
now,
Dervish.
I mean, we're seeing that potentially hemp, you know, agriculture, you know, textiles, you know, everything you're involved with, you name it. I mean, the economic potential that's there with this industry is just truly incredible, Morris.
There's no doubt about it. There's
no
so many
doubt about it.
No doubt.
That's a TI statement.
That a hemp ingredient can go into. And
hemp ingredient go into that systematic?
Enough acreage and processing and relieve this bottleneck that's kind of there in the U.S. right now. You know, the small communities.
A small amount of control.
This crop.
That was abstract.
And in areas.
He's talking about the possibilities that could come as a result.
Taken and governments and economic redevelopment dollars have been allocated. You're going to see tremendous growth across the country, and you're going to see an agriculture system that gets rejuvenated.
That's systematic as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about some of your advocacy.
Rejuvenation is FE.
What do you see on the
saw a small amount of control in there. I
think
that points more towards the NTP as well.
What's on your current radar as far as any type of concerns as far as, you know, regulation or the industry?
Well, right now it's kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. We've got over 30 states. I'm not sure what there is now, maybe 34. If you go to votehemp.com, they've got pretty specific information.
If you go to votehemp.com, and that's a TINE statement.
Hemp is now legal. And within that, because of the Farm Bill in 2014, there was a clause in there, Section 7606, that allows
that's a low
states
TE
that have
statement.
legalized hemp to launch pilot programs through departments of higher learning or higher education and departments of agriculture. And within that, there's been broadened programs depending on some specific state regulations.
Yeah, this guy is just TIAF, dude. Like, there's no way. He's a forum initiating movement, NESI, FETI, so he's SFJ, NTP Quadra, straight up, which is ESFJ or ENTP within an interaction style. We know he's systematic and pragmatic, so he's an ENTP. So there you go, folks.
In a court of law, but you know, it's just a little.
So Morris Spiegel, definitely ENTP for sure. Definitely ENTP. So cool. Awesome. What's the next highest super chat we got, Mr. Mello?
Looks like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Okay.
I'll send you the name.
And do we have a video on that? Gosh, I hope so.
Meta, if you have a video, send it to either of us.
Awesome. Or at least give us something that we can search easier. Just to save time, guys, if you guys got videos queued up, it'll make it easier in doing the search themselves. But yeah, I'm going to make the screen blank here while we look for that. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Like late night show is.
Okay, late shows. Awesome. Stephen Colbert. Let's see if I can get someone else. Details: abuse against inside migrant. Speaks out after seeing detention. Okay, visits border facility. I was not safe. Ex-acting ICE director reacts to Cortez's Crenshaw Slan CBP after report Facebook group. Freshman representative from New York. Also changed politics. Let's do the new interview here. Interview. We can't just say, is Miami going to exist in 50 years? Okay. Yeah. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. They eat Ben and Jerry's. Okay. Bringing moral courage to American politics. Okay. Call Me a Radical from 60 Minutes. Late Night with Seth Meyers. All right, well, we'll do that. We'll see how this goes.
Cool. Specific video?
Yeah, I'm gonna stand by. Alexandria Cortez, because we have to like have as many last names as possible because I'm an independent woman who don't need no man.
Hey everybody!
All right, so I'm gonna give you the link here, Mr. Mello, and just take it from the top. So,
cool. You want to cue it together?
Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go now.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest tonight made history this fall as the youngest woman ever elected to the House of Representatives. Please welcome back to the Late Show, now Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
And of course, let the ENTP talk, you know? Wow. Wow, so like FITE, thank you, right?
No, please. Sit. There you go. I'll sit down here too.
Oh my gosh!
Nice to see you again.
Great to see you again.
Thank you so much. We loved having you here last time. Thanks for being here. Well, I'm glad you're back in New York.
Yeah.
It must be nice for you to be back in a city that understands you.
It's really nice to be back.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations. Since the last time we saw you, obviously you were elected, and I got a couple of things back here, a couple of photographs.
Yeah.
What's day one like when you go to Congress? I have a photo here of you being sworn in right there.
Yes.
There you are with the now speaker again right there. And who is this young woman right here?
That's my mother.
Oh, how lovely.
Yes.
Your mom got to hold the Bible?
She did.
Oh, that's so
did.
nice.
It was great.
So I understand you had Sotomayor was a bit of an inspiration for you. In what way?
Yeah, it was. I thought about, what I was going to wear because I know that my nieces...
I thought about what I was going to wear because I knew that my nieces, talking about other people, that's SENI statement right there, like straight up. So
we're watching, and I wanted them to kind of
also talking
be
about
able
other
to have
people.
an image in their mind. And so I wore white for the suffragettes and people like Shirley Chisholm, who paved the way here. And when Sonia Sotomayor was having her confirmation hearings, the consultants kind of...
When Sotomayor was having her confirmation hearings, it's another SE&I statement. So fair enough. Kind of seems TEFI at the very beginning, but we're not entirely sure yet. We'll have to confirm that.
Told her to wear a nude nail polish because wearing a bright color would kind of attract more scrutiny. And so she wore bright red nails. And I figured, why not? That was another great tradition.
Now, I think it was after your first...
Another great tradition. That's SE talking about, tradition from outside. I'm getting movement from her too. She really seems movement, and also
very
seems
reactive.
Initiating more so than responding. You think so?
I said reactive.
Oh, so you think responding then? Okay.
I meant movement in that sense.
Fair enough. Okay, let's keep going. I'm on 2 minutes 22 seconds and go.
First week in office there, you Instagrammed this, and can you tell us what's going on right here?
So it was a really busy day, and got home super late, and I just wanted to eat ice cream and maybe skip dinner.
And you were asked online what...
It kind of seemed informative to me, what she's saying. It's like, it was a really long day, and wasn't really, and kind of stretched around, and put her down for informative so far. She seems kind of initiating, but she hasn't exactly initiated any new points yet, so let's kind of wait for that. Are you getting interest? I'm getting interest-based here as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like with the nail polish.
Yeah. Talking about like what's in it for them, and using that as a symbol or a tradition, etc., and like getting scrutiny, etc. That seems very interest based to me, for sure. So
flavor ice cream you were eating there.
It was American Dream. It was.
American Dream.
Oh man! And you thought it out too.
And you thought it out too. Okay, that's TEFI. So yeah, there you go. She's definitely SFP NTJ Quadra for sure. And SFP NTJ Quadra, movement oriented. She's either ESFP or INTJ, either one. So let's verify between the two of those for sure. Let's get back into it.
Let's do. Hold
Cheers.
on. Cheers.
Where are you at?
Clink.
I am at 304 currently. 304.
Okay, paused.
All right. And I'm hitting play on 305 and 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh. I want to warn the affiliates we might be going long. You know, you get elected, you go in there, your first day in Congress, government shut down.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck is that like?
I mean, basically.
Informative.
What I will say is that there's a lot of things we can't do as freshman members. We have almost, around 100 new members of both parties that are coming to Congress, and we can't properly set up our district offices. We can't get laptops delivered. We can't start doing the work that we were elected here to do.
We can't do these things. SE.
Yeah.
We can't do this. We can't do that. SE. And that was an informative statement. And she kept on initiating a new point. Informative initiating movement. There you go, folks. She is an ESFP. There you go. Awesome. Who's next?
All right. Let me verify. Okay, cool. So it looks like Aiden Washington with Donna Lupardo.
Okay, Donna Lupardo.
Assemblywoman. Link in Discord.
All right, link is in the Discord. I'll check that out in a second here. Yes, as I erase my green. Lots of the greenness. Okay, awesome. Checking that out.
Cool.
And Mr. Aiden, got it. Donna Lupardo, and giving it to you, Mr. Mello. Mr. Mello.
Cool.
So you got that one. Okay, cool.
Yep. FYI.
Yep.
32 minutes.
At 32 minutes?
Left, yes. Oh, on the timer.
Okay, cool. All right.
Cool.
I'm going to skip into 5 minutes, 37 seconds on this one.
All right. Got you ready.
All right, cool. So going to do some red ink for this one. Donna Lupardo. Okay. Donna Lupardo. And then going up. Okay.
Out. Nor did I know that.
All right, so I'm starting it at 5 minutes, 39 seconds in 3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah, it's starting now. Of course, any opportunity to get a vulnerable senior, or honestly, so many people are vulnerable to these phone calls. The grandmother, grandfather scheme.
Yeah, that's been going on for a while now.
And all those. So, but this is legit, and it's a good thing. It protects their security.
Yeah, I would have actually been surprised if I got a new card and it didn't have my number on it. I would have questioned it myself.
Worried about people getting scammed.
Oh, well, you got to be 65.
Are you that old, CIFE?
Oh, good. I got a little more time.
I should say, not me so much, but yes, you got a while.
We're all getting up there. We're definitely getting up there. So it's always good to have an eye out for these things.
That's right.
So I know that was one of the things that you've been working on recently.
That's right.
And I wanted to.
DI agreement.
I'm always happy to have that announcement for the public, and that's always an important thing. I know there was a couple of other things, though, a couple of bills that you've been working on, and there was a couple of them that stood out to me, and I wanted to take a moment to talk about them because most people don't notice, there's all the bill numbers. Mm-hmm. They're not familiar with that, or they don't recognize the name of a bill or what it does. So it's always great to be able to explain that.
Kind of might be direct responding movement.
And usually the 30 seconds that gets on the news. And let's start off actually with one of your favorite, which is with the hemp.
Yes.
And Bill A10195.
Yes, direct.
Just so if someone wants to look it up at the State Assembly, you can go online and you'll be able to see the bill.
Well, actually, I'm going to give you a new bill number on that one.
But it did change, yes.
Actually, I'm going to TI you on that one.
0826. Now, sometimes when you're getting toward the end of the session and you've come to an agreement on a bill,
and when you get to the end of the session and you are agreeing on a bill while I'm affiliative, I'm also SE&I.
So that's what we wound up having to do with this bill. Senator Omar and I work very closely together. He's our senator. He's my
this other senator and my other senator partner, because I'm SEing it and I'm affiliative.
But it's 10826.
10826 because I'm TI. Gotta tell you the facts.
It's always good to have an update, and I try to be as up to date as possible. But see, and that's one of the things. I'm sure people will look at it and not realize that,
Correct.
And then they're going, "Well, what happened with that bill I was trying to follow?" Was there any substantial change to the bill?
No, we were just really trying to find a way to simply define cannabis.
We were
trying to find a way. That is, when you hear we were trying to find a way, that's basically we are doing this now, and my NI is going to find a path. That's SENI as that statement. Gosh, it seems very interesting with how she's doing that. And let's see if she's going to initiate any additional points here. I'm hitting play on 806, and now.
In the health code, making it crystal clear that it does not apply to industrial hemp. So we're defining cannabis. We're defining
cannabis oil.
Yeah, defining cannabis. That's very FETI. We're making it crystal clear that's not going to be that way. That's also TI as well. Very interest-based because it's like, this is what's in it for us. This is what we want. She's very responding. She's very, very responding for sure. Direct and responding. I'm not seeing her initiate any points. She's just staying on topic directly. Affiliative, interest-based, which means she's automatically an NF, direct responding movement. So she's an NF finisher type, and we know that she's SENI-FETI. So this woman, Donna Lupardo, is, guess what, an INFJ. There you go. She's an INFJ. So awesome. What's next?
All right. Let me check the super chats. Make sure.
Okay.
Cool. Looks like Jesse Ventura from Joseph House.
Jesse Ventura. All right. Jesse Ventura. Okay, it should be pretty easy to get to some kind of... What's with all the politicians? I guess it's like, that's political season, isn't it? You know? All right, Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura. All right.
Chase, did you want to type Frank James at some point?
Yeah, probably, if we have time. We'll get to it. Jesse Ventura interview. Yeah. On Chris, former governor Jesse Ventura picks fight with feds over 9/11. Okay. Jesse Ventura, Mitt Romney lives a world I don't live in. Oh, that's nice. I'd be happy to hear that from Jesse Ventura. Okay. There we go. I'm going to give you the link to this one.
You need great marketing videos to grow your business. With promo, you can create commercial level...
No ads.
A bit of a clanger by Mitt Romney.
Oh, no, it's Piers Anthony. Gross. Gross. Not interested
Don't know the
in Piers
guy.
Anthony. He's not someone I remotely have any respect for as a journalist or even, you know, maybe, I don't know. Like, no, thank you. Okay, so there's that video there. I'm on 2 seconds in with Mr. Piers Anthony, like a boss. So let's check this out.
Oh, Piers Morgan.
Or Piers Morgan, excuse me. Piers Anthony is a great author, excuse me.
No worries.
Piers Morgan.
All right.
All right, cool. Let's get this going. Yes, I have typed Trump, ENTJ. Thank you. It's the first episode of season 20. All right, cool. Hitting play and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 now.
Will be portrayed by the Democrats, I think, very strongly from now to the election as a guy dismissing half of America as people who are just victims living off the state.
Well, it shows me that Mitt Romney probably lives in a world that I don't live in.
It shows me.
It shows me.
SI?
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, it does definitely sound like that. So let's go in here. Jesse Ventura, introverted sensing for sure. Okay, let's continue off with 20 seconds. Let's get that there. Here we go.
You know, he lives in a world that I hear he's worth, what, $250 million, and he comes from wealth. And most people I find that...
He comes from wealth. That's actually an SE&I statement. And he's also very direct in this particular moment. I would say he's also initiating and control so far from what I'm seeing. Definitely from that standpoint, for sure. So let's move on to the... play again at 30 seconds.
Are born with that kind of money, truly don't know what it's like to be out there. I mean, you know,
people who are born with that kind of money truly don't know what it's like to be out there. Okay, so that's a TEFI statement, and it's an SE statement talking about other people, but then like they truly don't know what it's like to be out there, and I'm direct initiating control. And I could say whatever I want because I'm just pragmatic AF, you know, so we'll see how that goes.
I remember when I started years ago on my pro wrestling career, when I'd just gotten out of the United States Navy.
Beat up car and $250.
Say again?
Beat up car and $250.
Beat up car and $250. Yeah. Let's see. Facebook.com, Pures tonight. No, thank you. No, thank you, Facebook. 42 seconds. Let's keep
left with a beat up car and $250, and that's all I had to my name when I went off to start my pro wrestling career.
I think it's an embarrassing thing for Mitt Romney, however he tries to spin this.
Well, it seems Mitt Romney lately has been saying a lot of embarrassing things, you know, and he's certainly not going to endear yourself to 47% of the country, and I would think it's going to be quite hard to win. But
47%, is that TE?
Yeah, it kind of is technically, but it's kind of very narrative oriented. I don't know, man. I can make the argument for FIT, but I can also make the argument for like TIFE as well in this particular one. But we definitely know he's an SE user for sure. Seems direct. Honestly, it's hard. Like I'm going between ESTP and ENTJ on this one because he doesn't seem to be abstract at all. It seems really concrete, and he kind of seems to be interest oriented. So I'm kind of leaning more towards the ESTP side than I am on the ENTJ side, for sure. But let's keep going.
But maybe their plan is that they...
Say again?
Where are you at?
I am at 1 minute 10.
Cool.
All right, and hit play.
They got these new voter registration laws to where they can deny 45% of the country of the ability to vote. You know, maybe that's their ultimate plan, is to only get to half the country and let only half the country vote in the first place. Because on that note, this whole thing's a farce. Voter fraud is a complete red flag. There's a...
Is that TI?
Yeah, it's TI because that's low TE. So yeah, definitely TIFE statement for sure. That was actually two of them. So, interesting. He might be STP, NFP Quadra. He is pragmatic. I gotta say he's pretty interest-based. I haven't heard anything systematic from him whatsoever, and I gotta say concrete so far. So let's keep going.
About as much voter fraud in this country as there is people being struck by lightning bolts.
There's as much voter fraud in this country as there's people being struck by lightning bolts. That is TE critic sounding to me. That's a TIFE statement for sure. And it's pragmatic. Oh yeah. And he's just been direct this entire time. He's super direct.
Yeah.
Probably triple
nailing
direct.
the facts.
Just nailing the facts, yeah. And he keeps initiating ideas, and he's still very control-based for sure. So direct initiating control, pragmatic, but he is concrete, definitely concrete. He's not saying any what-if scenarios. He's just stating what it is. It's very what is. So based on that, Jesse Ventura definitely is ESTP, folks. ESTP.
Would you care to verify that, or?
Yeah, we can. We can.
Okay.
Let's look at a different video of him then. Jesse Ventura classified. Let's see. Talks at Google. Jesse Ventura talks at Google. Why not? 8 years ago. Cool.
Welcome, everybody. It's great to see a big crowd here.
Hearing and applause.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura talks at Google. 12 minutes, 56 seconds. So, awesome.
12:56.
Yep, and play in 3, 2, 1, go.
And then when that was subsided, I said, but if it's important, I'll learn.
But if it's important, I'll learn.
I think the people
That's
appreciated
CIFE.
honesty, and I think the people appreciated hearing someone running for office that didn't claim to know everything. And I think that they realized at that point that truly honesty was more important. To elect somebody.
Talk about other
Now,
people.
the state of our country today, we're
Very
in a mess.
interest-based.
And who is to blame?
State of our country today.
The Democrats and the Republicans.
The Democrats and the
They've
Republicans.
been in charge
Pragmatic.
for my entire life. I am an independent, dyed in the wool, true and true.
I'm an independent because
despise
I'm
them
pragmatic.
both equally. Not one over the other.
I'm
dislike
concrete
both. I'm an
AF.
equal opportunity despiser.
Equal
Of
opportunity
both our
despiser,
political
pragmatic.
parties. I agree with what Ralph Nader said. We are a two-party dictatorship.
Two-party
in this
dictatorship.
country. Now,
Interest-based.
how can we break it? How can we take our country back? See, I not only talk about things, sometimes I give solutions. How can we take our country back today? I believe it's as simple as the nose on your face, if I can use that clip.
It's as simple as the nose on your face. Yeah. Definitely, ESTP for sure. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Claiming ESTP on that one. And we lost Mr. Mello. All right. Okay. So, 1 second. Oh, someone's trying to call me. Might be an emergency here. Okay. All right. Let me double check my phone real quick. Waiting for Mr. Mello to come back. Alright, just trying to get that figured out. Okay, I was the first one here to claim. Yes, high frequency. Yes, you were. Awesome. Alright, so let me pull up the next one. And go into the super chat channels because we lost Mr. Mello. Lost connection. Let's bring Mr. Mello back. Accept. Okay.
Cool.
All right, you're back. Yay. Awesome.
Yep. Don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either. A call dropped. It's weird. Glad to have you back, though. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, cool. So who's next?
Where did we leave off?
That was Jesse Ventura, so ESTP.
All right, cool. I was believing that too. Reese Roper?
Reese Roper. Okay. Reese Roper. I don't know how to spell that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
This comes from TE Time.
TE Time. Awesome.
It's
Reese
on
Roper.
Frankie
Got
Overwood.
it. Got it. Reese Roper. Checking this out. Reese Roper interview. Got it. Reese Roper, a 5-iron frenzy. Okay. Interview with Reese Roper, unedited from the Fundamental Escape podcast. Checking it out. What? Unedited. Got it. And it's loading.
Cool. Hey, everyone. Welcome.
Cool. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Wow. I don't want to listen to that guy. Here you go. Try that one. Interview with Reese Roper, unedited.
Cool. From the beginning?
Yep, from the beginning.
All right.
So, there you go. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the Fundamental Escape podcast. I'm your host, Mark Fitzgerald, and today I have a musical guest. His name is Reese Roper, which I'd just like to point out is aesthetically pleasing to say. So welcome to the show, Reese.
Thank you. I'll tell my parents you said that about my name.
Yeah. I like to start off the show with a compliment for the guests, so I like to make you feel good about yourself, you know?
Really nice.
Cool. So what's been happening? So just, I guess if you could give us a rundown, like to those who aren't familiar with 5-Iron Frenzy, I was keen to ask you about the kind of genesis of the band and how you guys sort of formed, and, you know, not a big, deep, meaningful story or anything, but just kind of the basics of how it happened and how long you've been doing music and things for.
Five Iron has been around this year. Like in April, we celebrated our 20th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, that Keith, the original bass.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth on direct versus informative, but I'll put it down for sure as direct initially. I can argue multiple sides. I'm just waiting for something a little bit more concrete, for sure.
Player and I were best.
All right, so I'm at 1 minute 6 seconds and hitting play now.
Friends in junior high school and high school.
Keeps talking about the past.
So from grades, so that's like grades 6 through 12. We went to college on the same campus.
So he's talking about the SE. He's very SE here. Talking about the band, not talking about himself. So.
And there were a couple other friends that we made along the way, and we liked music. We kind of goofed around and were in bands. We had started an industrial band, so it was metal with all the samples and drum machines and stuff.
Just Control.
Yeah, it kind of does seem very Control, not very movement at all. It's really interesting, but SE and I for sure. Talking about the mechanics of the situation. He might be informative though. He might be informative responding Control, or is not really, but I don't know. We'll see. But definitely okay. SE and I for sure. So why can't AOC be an ESFP? Like, why not? Like, why can't that happen? I mean, definitely looks like one to me. Seems like one to me. Like, come on. Why is that the case? Wonka vision. So, all right, let's continue on for Reese Roper. 1 minute 36, hitting play now.
We just kind of did it because we liked it, but really because we couldn't find a drummer. And we found Andy, the drummer at Five Iron, at a Christian rock show in this band called The Prayer Chain. And we were like, hey, you want to try being in our band? And he played so loud he couldn't hear the click track or the drums. So we ended up just goofing around and playing what we liked.
We ended up goofing around and playing what we liked. Yeah, it seems very interest-based. Now, it seemed like a little TIFE, though. I'm not really seeing any reference points. He made another SE statement in there as well. Mm-hmm. Could be direct responding movement. I'm just not really sure on the interaction style. I'm mostly leaning ISTP at this point, based on what little information we have, but I want to keep going a little bit further. So
for sure.
Which ended up being...
All right, hitting play on 2 minutes and 9 seconds right now.
Punk and ska.
Yeah.
More so than the other music, because it was just... That was kind of just more utilitarian. We just did it because we couldn't find a drummer.
Nice.
We just did it because we couldn't find a drummer. That is pragmatic. Saying it's utilitarian, that is also pragmatic. Definitely interest-based. And he seems really concrete. I gotta say, this guy's an SP for sure. So far, as near as I can tell.
I have to start off. I've got a question here. I'm a twin, so my brother James, he's to be honest, he was a lot more into like punk and ska than I was. It sort of grew on me over time, but he's got a group of friends who are sort of fans, and one of the questions I wanted to ask was, will there be any more Brave Saint Saturn records?
Oh man. I guess I've never definitively said no. Hey, honey.
Okay, I guess I've never definitively said no. That's a TIFE statement. That was also responding. So direct and responding. That Control may come from ESTJ unconscious. He's very much sounding ISTP so far. But let's keep looking.
I could see it.
Hitting play on 2 minutes and 54 seconds. 3, 2, 1, now.
You gotta be quiet, Kay. My daughter is here.
Yeah.
This
do you want to say hello?
Lyndon, you want to say hi? on the radio? You have to say it out loud because they can't see you.
Hi.
Say Merry Christmas to the listeners.
Can you say Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Awesome.
I forgot the question.
Oh, we were talking about Brave. Yeah.
I've never definitively said no. There's part of me that hopes that we could still make stuff. It's just very difficult because it's difficult enough to do 5-iron. Everybody's got jobs and kids and families.
Everyone's got jobs and kids and families, and it's very interest-based when I say that, and it's very concrete of me to say that, and I keep responding and staying specific to the questioning, and I'm very direct while I'm stating facts, TIFE, and I'm an SEA user AF, which means I'm an ISTP. For sure. Reese Roper is an ISTP, hands down. Cool. What's next?
Cool.
No more super chats, folks. We're not taking any super chats. No, thank you.
Got a little over 9 minutes left on the clock here.
Okay.
So Reese Roper's done. The next biggest super chat, I believe, is Aaron Gillespie.
Here, okay. Can you send me that name?
I don't know how to say that name. Gillespie.
I think we already did this one in the past. Aaron Gillespie. I don't know. Let's see. Interview. Another the Bad Christian podcast featuring Aaron Gillespie. Okay. So the Bad Christian.
You missed the podcast because what was that you missed a few weeks
Anniversary and hallucinations and kidney stones.
Well, it occurred to me earlier, pretty late last night, that I should have called in to cancel today's podcast because today's my anniversary. So I'm in the chair. I know you went and took your wife out, but I'm in the chair tonight. So
it's what has happened.
Yeah, you can always assume people assume the worst.
So that's where she's from, is Salt Lake City, Utah. So she has a couple.
Okay, so 2712. So where we're going to start this one, the Bad Christian podcast. Do you have it?
I do not.
Okay. Get it for you. And there you go.
Cool.
Awesome.
Where did you say we were starting? Apologies.
It's all good. 2712. Aaron. Oh, cool.
Cool.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Sisters and her mom, obviously, and help her with Joel. So we moved there, and I kind of fell in love with the mountains and with the place. So I bought a studio there about a year and a half ago, and I've been producing other artists there and doing session work behind the drums and film and TV stuff there. And then I ended up just making that record there with my assistant, who's a guy that he engineers everything I do and mixes everything I do. And he kind of pulled me out of the dirt and was like, let's make a record instead of just being bummed about being divorced. Let's go make a record. Let's go make a record. So we made that record. And we did it really fast, like in 3 or 4 days. And it was.
All right, so 2748 is where I'm at now, and he's like, we made that record, and we did it really fast. So he's SE&I. He's very movement-oriented. Kind of seems direct to me, honestly. But SE&I for sure. Probably TIFE. We're going to go back into it again. So I'm at 2748. So let's get in there.
It was really fun to do. I had written all these songs that I still have a whole record's worth of, and that's the initial plan, is after this record is to kind of maybe put out some songs that are just kind of like the 3 solo songs that are on that record.
That's the initial plan. Yeah, it was actually very initiating there for a second there. That was actually initiating. I initiated a completely new point without staying on topic. So going to see initiating on that one. Kind of seems a bit pragmatic, but I'm not sure yet. But definitely seems SE and I so far. We'll see. Let's keep going.
We just we just put it all together, and it worked out really well. You know, it sounds super raw, and that was the idea. There's no editing or tuning, and yeah, it was kind of just supposed to be a snapshot of like where I was at the time, like kind of going through that really hard emotional time. Plus, you know, just a snapshot of what I do live now.
Yeah, I like what it is. The Bonnie Raitt cover is really cool.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
That was a fun one to do for sure. So,
wow, thanks, man. Thanks. Oh, gosh, was that an FITE reaction? Kind of seems like it was, man. Just kind of a little bit. Is this guy an ESFP? I wonder. Let's hear some more though.
Some covers and stuff like that on there. I think doing covers is a fun way to go. We haven't really ever done any covers, recorded them, but I'd like to do that in the future.
I had neither, and it was you know, when you play a show like by yourself in a bar, like it's cool.
Say again.
Old and random.
Yeah.
To like be able to play like, you know, songs that people know that are like old and random. I feel like I feel like that as a solo artist, that kind of sets you in a place where you're like,
you know,
he's really into songwriting, not just like the idea of being in a band. You know, so for me, like I took some songs that I loved, and the Bonnie Raitt thing was like kind of right where I was at emotionally, and like that song really just spoke to me in the sense of that literally was how I felt, like right where I was, you know. So yeah.
What is the latest? What's the latest with you and Paramore?
They are working on music, and I don't know. If they asked me to come back, of course I would do it. You know, they haven't. The last show they played, I played, which was in February. But
it's also concrete.
I don't know. But I would love to do it again. I just don't know that my own life would permit. You know, with Under Oath back at it now, and then I really am kind of serious about chasing this singer-songwriter out of the Badlands thing.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. You're going to build that. I mean, it'll probably take some time to get it where you want it to be to compete. Yeah, because that's the weird thing is trying to balance all those things and what to compete with. When you're doing a bunch of creative stuff, you constantly have to ask yourself this question, like, well, what do I want to do the most, and what pays the bills the most, or what's working the most already, and you got to keep reprioritizing. So sometimes it's a long road to the thing. Sometimes the thing you're enjoying the most.
Okay, I'm going to skip to 46:16, all right? Skipping to 46:16 and hitting play in 3, 2, 1, go.
You are...
No, and here's why. I don't feel... I think that there's some practicalities to this. Here's an example. I just visited my grandma. She hurt her ankle. If I would have walked in there and been like, what's wrong, you crazy bitch? You can't walk around? I mean, she...
I'm skipping to 50:45. Skipping to 50:45 and hitting play now.
Or you can cuss in the pulpit.
Well, y'all seen the clip of the Rage Against the Machine.
All right, so he seems pragmatic with that statement. Actually, pretty pragmatic there. So that's good.
A music video back. Oh yeah, it's like 15 years ago, and there's a sign that says "Trump for President 2000." I think.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
My dad, I told him we got into the marijuana dispute, and he said, "You are gonna let your kids do drugs." I said, "What are you talking about?"
By supporting a libertarian candidate.
I was trying to explain to him the taxes and what's happened in
venue in Orange County. So it's Circa Survive, Under Oath, and Coheed. And then a bunch of other bands, and then we literally fly overnight and do.
I could almost argue this guy is an ENFP. Like I could seriously argue ENFP here as well. He's definitely in forward initiating movement. He's definitely a starter type. Like we know he's a starter type, but I'm seeing like a little bit of past focused, introverted sensing, and definitely TIFE. But I don't know. I'm going back and forth on his perception functions for sure.
Maybe check another video. There are 4 people he's interacted with.
Yeah, let's look at a different video here. Let's say here. Under Oath, religion should not be in music. Okay. That's a very affiliative point of view. So let's do that Loudwire. So I have a nice little Vimeo ad here.
All right.
Okay.
I have the video queued.
Yeah, the video queued. All right, 0 seconds. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
another big change is no longer identifying as a Christian band.
No longer identifying as a Christian band.
That Christianity ruined the band, and that one of the best things we ever did was when we agreed to not be a Christian band anymore. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
I mean, the thing with having a so a band.
Okay, so
is
the
a
other
bunch
guy
of
is talking.
It's like being married,
skipping to
being
1 minute 50.
Trying to keep your girlfriend happy or your wife or your boyfriend.
52. 152.
It's a huge
But they
deal.
didn't support us before anyway.
Yeah.
We never wrote
I'm
songs
there.
about. That's another thing too. To elaborate more on the Christianity thing, like we never wrote songs about God. We always wrote about. I mean, go read Under Oath's lyrics, except for a song called "Some Seek Forgiveness, Others Escape" on Chasing Safety,
Which we didn't write. Yeah.
Written by Aaron. From
Yeah, he's so movement in this. He's like going back and forth. He's just so movement. He's like kind of slightly impatient.
Copeland, Aaron Marsh, who's singing on that.
Is
song. That
going to 2:30.
We made that, and people just weren't paying attention. It's just, it's just now. It's a bigger deal now because we're back. And
He's trying to get like a word in edgewise. He's like, "Come on, dude."
In the Christian
it's out in the open.
Yep.
That's another reason why we weren't really wanted to.
It's out in the open. He initiated again.
Meanest, most alienating people. It was just like F that guy. Let's get him out of here. And it was like all of press everywhere. And
He barely speaks in this
I don't
interview.
think
Let's
I'd
see.
change that for the world. And also now we're feel like
Yeah.
we feel like it's our.
Yeah, that guy needs to like stop talking. We're going to a different one.
He's a backup singer.
Yep.
Aaron Gillespie's story. Ransom TV.
All the bad lines, ghostwriting. Let's see that one.
What's up, y'all? Aaron Gillespie here, and I'm hanging out with
up,
Rob
y'all?
on Punk Videos Rock.
Punk Videos
Listening
Rock.
to the record, I feel like it's a different voice. Obviously I'm used to listening to your voice with your various projects, but with
Said
this, I feel like
ghostwriting. Can't
I feel
find
like
that
your
video.
voice matured a lot.
Yeah, I'll give you the link.
Cool.
This guy's like pretty integrated, so it's a little bit harder to pin him down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. All right, hitting play on 19 seconds in 3, 2, 1.
Maybe, yeah. I'm getting old. No, the record was kind of made out of a time of turmoil for me, so I think a lot of it probably has to
Record
do
was
with
made
that,
out of a time of turmoil for me. That's an SINE statement. There we go. There's an SINE statement.
I was kind of going through essentially the worst time in my life, so I think
Going through the worst time in my life.
That had a lot to do with it. Yeah.
That's many
What did
reasons.
all the songs
That's
that you put on this
informative.
record? Why were they so significant for this record?
A bunch of reasons. I went through a divorce about a year ago.
Went through a divorce a year ago. That's an SI
so
statement.
I did 3 originals on there, and then the rest of them are covers that kind of spoke to me about that era in my life. Songs that I've been part of for a long time that kind of really spoke to me again in that moment. And also, this is the 3rd one of these solo tours I've done, and I've been playing those songs. Right. So I was I would love to have a recorded component to go with everything else. So.
And with putting the songs that you had already done with The Almost and with Under Oath, for example, they're old songs, but you made them fresh again. So going into the studio to actually record them, I know you produced it and did it yourself, but going into the studio to record them, how did you really change?
I realize
it
time's up, but we're
to
gonna
make
keep
it
going.
So new. To be honest, there was no preconceived let's make it this way. I just sort of did it, and the idea was to kind of leave it as untouched as possible. We did the whole record in 3 days. I own my own studio, so I kind of just weird odd hours, and I kind of worked on it for a few months, but real recording time was 3 days. And I had kind of created all those versions on the road, over the last couple of these. I did one tour with William Beckett, another one with the dude from State Champs, solo tour, So I kind of had created those versions just by osmosis, sort of finding a way to play them alone,
SINE.
to play them for these small crowds.
Informative as well.
Yep, that was abstract.
The versions just kind of happened. There was no real okay, so this song we're gonna make this. It was sort of just mostly a kind of natural progression of how we would do those types of sons.
Right.
So.
And going into the studio
How
this
we
time
would do
around,
those
you're
types
doing
of
it
songs.
again.
That's
you're doing it on your
systematic.
own. Is this the first time that you've actually produced something on your own?
I've been producing records for other people for years.
I've been producing records for other people for years. That's TIFE.
Because I was tired of renting places, and So for myself, yeah, I've never really produced my own record for myself. I would never trust myself, really. You know, a lot of the Almost records I recorded everything
Trust
alone.
myself to do that.
But I just never really trust myself.
That's
you know,
T-I-F-E,
you always
actually.
want that second person or that third person to be like, okay, that's stupid, or that doesn't make any
That's
sense.
all over the place.
Why are you doing it that way, or why are you singing it that way? So I kind of just sort of out of necessity, in a sense, with this one, because
out of necessity, S-I-N-E statement.
It was just a good healing kind of exercise for me, to just kind of do it and trust myself with it.
Why is it always so hard for me to type my own
I
type?
think the record kind of stands as its own thing because I didn't really obsess over it. I sort of just
look in the
made
NTP,
it.
bro.
It wasn't like a, a very meditated thing, So.
Were there any hardships that you had, maybe like recording the record, whether it was like a specific song you were trying to get out?
Just so fast, like on purpose. I need
specific
well,
position.
not even ready.
So
I just
SI.
needed to capture it at that time, the way that I was feeling, and kind of the position that I was in as a man at the time. And I think that
position I was in as a
made,
man at the
I
time.
made like a
It's
rule
an
for
FE statement.
myself to like just do it. Not
I made
to,
a
like,
rule for myself to
overthink
just
it
do
or
that.
worry about
That's
what,
S-I-N-E.
What was going to happen, or I kind of just made the record. So
I just made the record.
The original songs that you put on here.
Talking about his system.
How different was that writing process
Same way.
as opposed to anything else you've done?
I've kind of always done it the same way. I'm a bit of a binge writer.
Always done it
Like,
the
I'll write a
same
record
way.
and then I won't
S-I-N-E.
write again for
Binge writer.
myself.
Yep.
I write for a lot of
That's
other people.
very
so I'm writing
true
songs
for me.
pretty much daily if I'm off the road. But I write songs for myself maybe once or twice a year. Yeah. So I kind of go through like a binge period where I'll write like 40 songs for myself and then pick 10. So I had been writing
binge
kind of
writers.
through the
That's a
forces
system.
of the negative
10 songs,
phase of
whatnot.
my life that I was in, and I have a bunch that I'll put another record out.
Talking about the symbology of the phase of his life with his music. That's abstract.
Solo stuff, but those three kind of really spoke
So
to the
yeah,
time, and I felt like
he's not
fit the
ESFJ,
vibe of the rest
and
of
he's
the record,
systematic.
all the
So
other songs and stuff like that. So yeah.
You mentioned you have enough for more, so you see yourself doing some more, pursuing a solo artist for a little longer.
Not like I don't have much time to, but I at least try to do maybe one or two of these a year, solo tours. So I'd like to. I don't really know. You can never tell what the future holds. I feel like
Worried
it
about his
changes every
future?
fucking day in terms of
Yep.
just what in my career, like what I'm doing and
NESI.
where I'm at. So yeah.
With the studio again,
Yep,
you're doing this all on
definitely
your own. There was nobody
ENTP.
else that helped you like from your previous
Cool.
bands. It was
Cool.
specifically like you wanted to.
Finally.
I have my studio.
It's nice to verify. Thank you for your support on that one. It's always hard for me to type my own type sometimes, especially when they're super integrated. You start making arguments or other things like.
Oh yeah.
Could almost for a while there I was like I could have done ISFJ, but he's just so movement, so there's just no way. There's just no way that could happen. I could have argued ISFJ so easily, but again, there's just
jumping his leg up and down.
Yeah, he's fidgeting a lot. He's very movement, so yeah, definitely an ENTP. And ENTPs do not often get I think Chester Bennington is also an ENTP. So it's
oh wow.
Yeah, so it's not often you see them with tattoos, but then every now and then you do because they take symbology. So
cool. Is that the last one we're having?
How many other super chats we got, bro?
Okay, so a few more came in after I stopped recording them. Looks like Stern. More for Pamela Anderson. So it looks like 6. Take that back, 7. It's a $2
huh?
paid. Yep.
Okay. We'll do a couple more. So what's the next highest?
Okay, that would be Jeffrey Dahmer, Stone Phillips interview.
Okay. All right. Doing another murderer again. Dahmer, Stone Phillips. Jeffrey Dahmer interview, Stone Phillips interview. Got it.
Is that a 1994 one?
Yeah. 1994 original Stone. Let's do the original one. Let's do that one.
Okay.
All right. let's skip to 6:38.
Outside and just left the house. I learned
All right,
later
I'm
that
there.
he was slapping the trees with branches and sticks, and I
3,
guess
2,
apparently
1,
out of
go.
frustration.
When you think back on those
Seems
times,
control.
the arguments and the possible effect,
It makes
does it cause
me,
you anguish?
It makes me sick. It really makes me sick that we didn't have a more Ozzie and Harriet type family. You know, I feel that way to my death.
Yeah.
In his endless second-guessing about the upbringing of his child, there is one last agonizing possibility that haunts Lionel Dahmer. That the drugs he's...
Never really had a...
That was actually his father, so never mind. Started on 11 minutes, 21 seconds.
A real deep heart-to-heart talk about what was going on inside our own minds.
Why do you think that was?
All right.
Because from about 15 years on up, a great deal of my thoughts were basically unshareable.
As a teenager, there were many things Jeffrey felt he couldn't share with his parents.
Our own
But in
minds.
Lionel
Is that
Dahmer's
SE?
Yeah.
home, one subject was particularly taboo.
Did you ever consider talking to your parents, to your dad, about homosexuality? Is that something that you felt you could ever raise?
Early on, I really didn't know that much about it myself. All I knew was that it was something that was to be kept hush-hush, not talked about, not even thought about. So I just kept it.
Yeah, he seems responding and control so far with his interaction style, as near as I can tell.
It all within me, and never talked about sexual.
Yeah, he leaves it
issues
where
at all, really,
where they ask.
with anybody.
If Jeff had come to you and said, "Dad, I'm a homosexual," how would you have reacted?
I'm gonna skip to
That
1331.
drove him into his own world. His parents' incessant fighting was another.
It was unnerving, depressing, made me angry sometimes.
That made me
I'd leave the
uncomfortable.
house, go
It's
out
an
in the
SINE
woods and,
statement.
Sulk, brooding, wondering
Control,
why they had to
responding.
have such a rough relationship.
Your dad says that somewhere around the age of 6, he thought that you began to change, that you began to withdraw, that you became much more shy.
Oh yeah, that's the time I really remember noticing that things weren't quite right.
So it wasn't so much
Yeah,
innate shyness
more
as
SI.
it was wanting to withdraw from tension and arguments and problems in the house.
That's how I saw it. Yeah, just
Weren't quite right. Is that FI?
It could be FE actually. That's NESI. I'm gonna put it on FETI. Not really hearing much reference points with what he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Sort of.
Where I
lived
had
in my own
control.
little fantasy world when things got too heated in the household. It was just.
Fantasy world when things got too heated in the house. That's abstraction, abstracting, which is often what INPs do when dealing with conflict. So.
Just my own little world where I had control.
That fantasy world may have been Jeffrey's retreat from violence as a boy.
Going to 1505.
Situation, creating my own little world where I had the final say, where I could completely control a person that I found physically attractive, and keep them with me as long as possible, even if it meant just keeping a part of them.
One of your dad's biggest questions is...
Keeping them with me as long as possible, even if it's a part of them. I could almost make an SINE argument there as well. Probably do that. We'll see. I'm going to put that as like a maybe for now. I'm going to continue.
When you began to slip away, when you crossed over into this world of...
Don't forget, guys, even TI
obsession,
Hero can seem direct.
Dark fantasy from which you just couldn't return.
I think it was around age 14 or 15. Started to have.
Yeah, around age 14, 15 is more SI, for sure.
Having obsessive thoughts of violence intermingled with sex. And it just got worse and worse. I didn't know how to tell anyone about it, so I didn't. I just kept it all in.
I didn't know how to tell anyone about it. This TIFE statement, and it also seems like he's talking about ISFP superego as well. This is looking more and more like INTP. Talking about a system that he's following as well. Definitely abstract. Let's keep going.
Inside.
Tell me about this house right here.
One of the things Jeffrey kept inside early on was a bizarre teenage fascination with dead animals.
Okay.
This from a boy who 10 years earlier had played fiddlesticks with a bucket of animal bones. Lionel took us back to the neighborhood in Ohio.
Going to 1702.
What
it looked like inside?
Right. And something went wrong.
Was there some pleasure in the cutting?
Something went wrong.
Yes, there was. No sexual pleasure, but just a. It's hard to describe.
Sense of power, sense of control.
I suppose that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
All right. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, informative. TIFE. This is more look like, so he's basically between SFG, SFJ, NTP Quadra, ISFJ / INTP, and definitely seems abstract. Both those types are systematic, so definitely INTP. So for sure. All right, cool. What's next?
All right, that would be, let me double verify. That would be Esther Perel.
Give me a name on that, please.
Yep. Sent it to you.
Okay. Okay.
Looks like there are a few different interviews here.
On sexual desire and successful. Let's see the Lewis Howes one, the first one.
Cool.
Skipping to 609. 609 on that one. 609 with Esther Perel. Okay.
All right. Play.
Yep. Esther Perel. Okay. It looks like
status.
Her family just showed up, so we'll hear them in the background. All right,
There's
so
a clear sense that my life
and
is
hit
not
play
gonna be
611,
small.
612,
My life has to
613.
be big.
Mm-hmm.
Big
Heard her
doesn't
talk
mean
about
successful
status.
and money.
Yep.
Big meant
Right at
meaningful,
the beginning.
Yep.
rich,
TEFI.
layered, you know.
It's not necessarily well known or famous, but
not well known.
Feeling
Full.
Yeah, not
Full.
dead.
Not dead. I mean, there's a reason I write about eroticism, right?
Yes.
And that sense that I was not going to be mediocre. You know, I'm
It's
not
not gonna be
content
mediocre,
with
that's
just
TE
the
statement.
average of something. That it has to be not the best. It has to be the right one for me at that moment. That may be the beautiful
right
spot
one for
or
me
the,
at moment.
the
That's
right
SE and
friend
I.
to be with, or the right act to take in relation to somebody or to some cause. But that sense
Very
that my
direct.
life has to be big.
My life has to be big.
You know, has been with me since I
Kind of
was,
seems
you know.
abstract.
Sure. Okay. So tell me why you wrote this book and why you got into, I guess, this topic in general. What made you want to start this process?
You know, the funny thing is, it's a fluke, actually. I never wrote about sexuality until about 10, 12 years ago. I did write about relationships, plenty. For the past 30 years, I've been a couples therapist and a relationship expert. I work with companies, I work with families and couples on modern relationships. And that always involved looking at how does cultural change affect relationships. Migration, education, technology.
How does cultural change affect
individualism, consumer
abstraction.
society, how do all these things, the shift from communism to democracy, how do big
Very
cultural
SE.
changes affect relationships?
TFI.
Always been doing that. Sex was a kind of a side subject. And then I was basically a little bit looking for a new topic. And I got inspired
Seems
by
initiating.
the Clinton scandal,
Okay.
basically.
When was that?
Inspired by the
That
Clinton.
was
New
in
topic.
the late
Yep.
90s.
New topic.
Okay.
But it moved all the way into the beginning 2000. I don't
Right.
remember the exact year. But the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal, for me, from a cultural point of view, was very interesting. Why was the
Seems
United
pragmatic.
States so tolerant
Doing
about
systematic.
multiple divorces and so intransigent about infidelity?
Talking about the scandal
The
from an
rest of the
interesting
world,
standpoint
and I
rather
just
than
spoke
right
to
and wrong.
4,000 people in Mexico a couple months ago, and it was so
Very
important
pragmatic.
to watch this difference. It was the complete contrast to the state.
Complete
Has always
contrast
opted
is
the
a
other way
TE
around.
statement.
You preserve the family at all costs.
Preserve the family at all
thanks to
costs.
women.
SENI. Thanks to
and
women.
you make compromises
Direct.
and tolerance for infidelity.
Really?
Yes.
That's
All over the
systematic.
All over the world.
Compromise.
Especially in Europe,
and
it's
whatnot.
like
Very
every
systematic.
married man seems to have like a mistress.
No,
essentially,
let's
right?
be
Or
very
no?
clear. Americans don't cheat one
Yeah.
iota less than the French.
She
Say it again.
is
Americans do not
ENTJ.
cheat one
Straight up.
iota less
Less-
than the
right,
French.
right, right.
They just
Yep. Straight up ENTJ. Direct initiating control, pragmatic, systematic, abstract, SINE, TFI. Esther Perel is an ENTJ. Cool. Next.
Okay. All right. Looks like we have $30 for Pamela Anderson.
And
You want to skip Pamela Anderson?
well, I just want to know what are the names that are left.
Okay, so there's Tamara Mowry Housley.
Okay.
Pamela Anderson.
Okay.
No name. Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
Black, spelled with a 6. Jewel Kilcher. Tony Lamy, and Frank the INFP.
Oh, Frank the INFP. Got it. Okay. I actually got to get going. I think pretty
Okay.
much out of here. So we're gonna continue on with these particular super chats for the next episode. So Mello, please keep these names written down. Someone said that I paid for Jewel or something like that. Is that on your list at all? Are we lacking that? Just trying to make
Jewel?
sure. Yeah, someone named Jewel something. Just want to make sure we're on top of that. You have a name in there for that?
Yeah, Jewel Kilcher.
Okay, Jewel Kilcher. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, so write down those lists. We're going to do, on the next How to Type, we're going to lead with those, and then we'll open up Super Chats, after then. So we'll get to those as well. Thank you all for your patience, but as I had warned the audience, we were kind of going on a timer tonight. We still got an additional 20 minutes than we should have. But we'll do our best to get to those Super Chats next time we have the list going. We're going to open up the show with those and then just get to it, and we'll take it from there. And we'll not open up the Super Chats yet until that's figured out. Maybe we can get a widget to say so we can communicate better with the audience. So thank you for all that. It's time for me to go cook dinner for my family, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday at 9 Eastern. So have a good night. See y'all later, and we'll get to those Super Chats. Thank you all for your patience. See you on Tuesday. Later.